12,000 miles with a BMW i5. Is this the ultimate electric estate? Before this BMW i5 Touring arrived, I'd spent some time looking after a Land Rover Defender. The two are about the same price, at approximately £100,000, and, no, I don't know how so many people appear able to afford cars of that value either. But to run them as company cars would be quite a different experience. The Defender came with a 3.0-liter diesel engine, thus attracting a 37% benefit-in-kind tax rating, so an employee would pay tax on nearly £37,000 annually. A 40% taxpayer would be faced with a monthly tax bill of nearly £1,200. Compare and contrast with this new BMW i5 Touring and its 2% benefit-in-kind rating, which would leave a 40% taxpayer with a bill of just £67 a month to run it. The difference is of the magnitude that I keep going back to check it's not wrong. It's no wonder that EVs or long electric range plug-in hybrids are today the go-to cars for company users. Anyway, a near six-figure purchase price before options gets one into a significant amount of electrified BMW hardware. The 5 Series Touring is a big estate car these days, at 5,060mm long and 1,900mm wide across the body, and it has a 2,995mm wheelbase. There's lots of shared BMW 7 Series architecture underneath it. Related BMW i5 reviews. This is as plush as 5 South get, arriving with us as it did in M60 xDrive form. It's 4-wheel drive courtesy of 2 motors and has 5.9 bhp in total, so it can go from 0 to 62 miles per hour in a claimed 3.9 sec. It's a figure I can entirely believe. I recommend a cop with a fully closable lid for one's morning commute tea. Like less oomphy 5 South, this one comes with an 81.2 kWh battery, which, owing to the car's stonking performance and 1,425 kilograms weight, means it won't go quite so far as lower-powered single-motor 5 South on a charge. Its combined WLTP range is 310 miles and energy consumption is 3 amp-quach. It can charge up at 205 kilowatts, although, in my early experience, you won't be surprised to learn, it won't routinely match all of those figures. It does come pretty well equipped as standard, and there are 10 colors to choose from, 9 of them metallic, including a red, a blue, and a green, as well as obligatory monochromes, before you would have to spend a bean for something else. This one is the 1,095 pounds Tanzanite blue. The M60 comes with an M Sport Pro package too, most significantly including uprated brakes, with the rest of it cosmetic. Other standard equipment includes Bowers and Wilkins audio, and I suspect one would be pretty content with it. To this example, though, a few packages have been added. M Adaptive Suspension Pro costs £4,000 and comes with adjustable damping. The Technology Plus Pack £3,300 has a head-up display, plus parking, and driving assistant functions that I must spend more time getting used to, including whatever BMW natural interaction is. Then there's a Comfort Plus Pack, a £3,350 combination of heated rear, as well as front seats, ventilated front seats and, one of my favorite things on cooler mornings, a heated steering wheel. That brings the total on the road cost of this car to £116,060, but if you didn't spec all of that, I don't think you'd feel like you've missed out. The lush upholstery, silvery interior highlights, and 20 inches wheels all come as standard. Throw in the broad color range too, and, well, it turns out that a £100,000 car isn't exactly poverty spec, unsurprisingly. Some of our testers say they prefer the lesser i5 South to this all-singing, all-dancing may not sing or dance top spec M60 model, owing to their lighter weight and what to them feels like a more compliant ride. I can understand that, and although I haven't spent much time in various 5 South, when I drove a couple of i7 South I came away from them feeling the same way. But I have very quickly got into the i5 M60's groove, and it doesn't feel like it's shortchanging me on comfort. At some point I'd like to try a back-to-back test with an M40, but still, well, it's for very clear reasons, not as absorbent as the Defender I rolled around in before. The BMW cast surface imperfections aside well enough. Plus it comes with the advantage of a much smaller frontal area and a considerably lower center of gravity, making it a much more dynamic road car. The steering is smooth and accurate and medium heavy of weight, and while this is still a big car with a hefty curb weight, it disguises both pretty well. I'm finding it a little easier to park than the Land Rover owing to the reduced size and active rear steering, but with smaller mirrors, it's not necessarily easier to place in a bay. It's just simpler to find one in which it fits, although if, like me, you prefer to park in an end bay, scooched as far away from other cars and their drivers as is possible, you'll know there's still often some searching to it. Since the nippers have left home, I'm not using all of the car's practicality as much as I used to, but I've had some rear seat passengers who tell me it's pretty nice back there. It's always a treat for them to find rear seat heating, I find. The boot is big, too, and let down only by the fact that the 5 doesn't get a separately opening glass hatch these days. I'd give up a few of the other options to have retained that, but it's one of few early gripes with this car, which is otherwise settling into the autocar fleet very nicely.